These are the El Grandma machines, and I have the pleasure to speak to Andrew, who's going to talk about the packaging. So
the special thing about these bottles, or any of these right here, is that they all have a special scan bar here that's inside the bottle.
Can you please turn to this thing? Excellent.
And this is how the grandma machines over there used to know that the bottle is yours, that is able to charge you again. Because you only do a one-time payment of $1 for any of these bottles here. They're all the same price. Mm-hmm. And after you just pay by the ounce or how much you want to pay for it.
Excellent. And then, so that's aluminum right there. Yeah, so the Grove companies are aluminum.
Mm-hmm. And the Clorox and the Pine Sol ones are plastic.
And would you mind turning those, the Clorox one's upside down so we can see the number of plastic that this has? So this is a number 2 plastic for the Clorox bottle, and then these ones are a number 1. That is a number 1 PETE. Excellent. Now, when it comes to consumers, so after they're done with these, is there a reclaim program associated with these bottles to where a person can turn them back in?
As far as I know, they do not have anything like that. You recycle them as you normally would do with anything.
So recycle how you would normally do to the normal municipalities, as opposed to Target or the El Grandma.
Yeah. At least for now, that's how they do it.
That's also okay. Perfect.
Did you also want me to show you the plastic for the soft soap ones?
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
Little soft soap. We have a little small one here.
Okay, so that is your number 1 plastic as well.
And I will assume that the big one is the same, but let's check to make sure.
And these are going to be meant, so the big ones are for your refills, of course.
Yeah.
And then the small ones are
for using them.
Exactly. What has been the response from people who came, test out the machines, feedback? What has been the response?
It's one of the more popular things here. That and also the growing kits over there, especially the mushroom ones. We're sold out on that one. But people think it's actually really cool that you actually save like 30% on everything.
Yeah.
Other than buying it just at a store by itself. And it's also really nice that you don't have to throw away the bottle. You can actually use it again.
Exactly. Reuse it. When do they intend to launch this in the Target stores?
I don't think we've ever gotten any information about that yet. But I hope they do, because this is actually a really cool concept.
Exactly.
Because they've been doing this for a while down in Chile, where this company was made.
Yeah.
And I believe they also have some in I believe New York as well.
That's really cool. Now, so Target doesn't have a target date for this to actually launch. But that's great that they're actually embracing this type of initiative. Overall, this exhibit is really cool. So what made them come up with this type of exhibit?
So they decided to do all sustainability because of Target Forward. And that's like a program of Target wanting to be more sustainable, be more like equality, get rid of carbon waste and all that.
Yeah.
So this is like kind of another way of them showing that they want to do that.
That makes sense. Andrew, you are the man. Appreciate your insight. And
you say you've never done it? The most part is I choose it. This is the hardest part, honestly.
why is it so hard?
Because there's a little RFID chip in here, and it's a little harder to scan on this one specifically, the aluminum.
So it's just kind of centering it, finding the container so it to kind of connect?
Yeah, it's so it scans the chip, and then you'd enter in your phone or email, so that the bottle will basically be like attached to you. So if you were to come back, put it in, it'll recognize that it's your bottle, so it won't charge you the bottle, and it'll only charge the just the product.
Okay. Now, being that it's kind of hard for you now, how do we kind of make it easier? How can you make it an easier process, you think? Or is there an easier way than what you're doing now? Or
For these ones, I'm not sure. Sometimes we've just done different bottles to try and get it.
okay.
These ones we just haven't really fully figured out what like the right position to get it in.
Should we try like another bottle? Is there like one bottle that's easier than the other for the experience?
I do know like the soft soap ones are easier, and if the Clorox can find
There you go.
you can choose how much you want to refill because you don't need the full like the entire thing. So you can do like a half bottle.
Okay.
So that's just
Can we? Let's do half bottle.
yeah, it's like a bunch of different ones.
So that bottle itself, that's 24 ounce. So let's make it a 12 ounce experience.
14.
14 ounces is good. And then we'll do Apple Pay for this. And you got that one does Apple Pay, right?
I should do just about every kind of like payment.
So you think you should do Apple Pay?
Yeah.
So let's just say, you know what? I want to get this one. Maybe I should fill it up more. I mean, how can you make that an easier process for the consumer? Would you say? If they decide they wanted to just to refill it again, are additional to what they currently have? Because I mean, obviously he did a 14, but this is 24. Let's say we want to kind of fill it to the top. Can you do that?
I believe so. We haven't had anyone like decide after the fact. Maybe I want a little bit more.
And then I think we need to position it. It was it's slightly pouring off on the side. All right, I think it's positioned here. Yeah, that should be good. There you go.
I do know that the machine kind of judges the weight, so if you have already some in it, it should kind of recognize that.
Okay.
Like I said before, we haven't had somebody do that yet.
Now we're saying it's complete.
So then I just
Do you just pull it out?
yeah, I was gonna wipe it out.
Oh, please. Okay, thank you.
Well, it's also not saturated, but it's a super. It's basically condensed thicker, so you don't need to use as much to get the.
You mind if I see before you put the cap on side? See inside?
Yeah, it's basically like you only use about half as much as you normally would have to use.
And then push. Okay, perfect. And then. So then, when a person purchases these, the packaging to be on the side right here. Oh, then it's just a little lid. It's not even a pump or anything like that. It's
No,
just a
it's-
lid, of course.
But because this is laundry detergent, you will get like a little measure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So then that comes with it.
Do you want to get the iPad real quick?
Now, consumers are going to be concerned with like the sanitation part of this. Is there any sanitation experience that happens in here? So one person uses, is there a mist that comes down? What's the sanitation?
For inside here,
Mhm.
because most of
Like if somebody brought that, so if I use this one right here
Uh-huh.
and then I bring it back to refill it, so now I can potentially contaminate the next person if my hands is touching this and then it's all along right here. So is there anything sanitation wise?
there isn't, for the most part. The only thing kind of like clean is if like how there's a little bit of spill, we'll clean the spill.
Okay.
Because
But you guys wouldn't necessarily know that because you wouldn't check after every consumer when they refill. If this was like in Target right now, it's pretty much one consumer after another, after another, after another.
yeah,
Correct?
right now it's more or less just getting people used to the idea of trying to use this.
Exactly.
Right now it's just a soft soap robe and more Sprite salt.
Okay.
The ones that are like all the containers that are empty, so how these ones are all empty. the ones over here, those are the ones that are meant for these.
So then you have the soft soap here. And you have this one here. And then the Clorox. And what was going on with this one here?
So since these are a little bit newer, sometimes the machines are go down. So right now they're just rebooting.
That makes sense. How is the content filled in these machines? Are they like in
There's like big tubs in each machine.
at the bottom?
I believe so.
If you kind of just take one out, right on the wall, and it's just about anything that will make feedback about the store. It's the question of the day.
That's real cool. What has been the key feedback with the
Key feedback?
with the grandma machines?
I believe it's more asking for bigger bottles and having having all of them aluminum.
Having all of them aluminum.
Yeah, having all of them, including the Clorox and the Pine Sol soft soap ones.
Why aluminum?
Because it's more recyclable and plus it
Exactly.
doesn't last for like millions of years.
Exactly. So bigger bottles?
Yeah, bigger bottles for like the Pine Sol and maybe the detergent, so they don't have to come back so often.
That makes sense. Yeah, you're right about that.
So I actually agree with that. I think like the bottle should be a little bigger.
What else?
I don't think of anything else that's so like I said. Like
So-
making it a little more easier to use, because as you see when our manager was trying to do it, it kind of was kind of like having a little trouble and you have to get another bottle and use that. So if
Exactly.
it was more user friendly for people,
Exactly.
at least for the aluminum ones, the other ones are fine.
So the plastic ones work fine.
Yeah,
the
plastic
aluminum ones.
Sometimes they have a little trouble.
Do you think it's something aluminum that affects kind of like scanners? That's just like an aluminum thing.
I wouldn't think so, because the only thing that's in the way is the packaging label.
That's
Maybe
true.
it could be that it's too thin, and you need to be pinpoint, or else it won't work.
That's true.
Maybe
That's
if
true.
they made it a little, the label there a little, the scan bar a little bigger, I think that would help a lot.